So last week I got to see Avatar Fire and Ash at the Charlotte IMAX Dome, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I was trying to find some reviews on how Hollywood movies work on the IMAX Dome, and I really couldn't find any good reviews. So I decided I wanted to make my own and make one for, people who are like me who are interested. This wasn't our first time watching the movie. We saw the movie the night before. But we did see it in just a regular single Xenon, I think it's pronounced Xenon, IMAX theater, which is just at 2K 3D. There's no variable frame rate. For the Dome, it's a 4K laser with no variable frame rate and no 3D. And I gotta say, when it comes to watching Hollywood movies, the Dome it's easily the weakest version you could watch. So basically what makes the Dome special is kind of in the name. The IMAX Dome screen is in the shape of the dome. It's about, if I have the numbers correct, 180 degrees horizontally, and then from the center point, like the horizon of the screen, it's about 110 degrees, 100 degrees up, 22 degrees below that. The projector has a fisheye lens on it, which is what gives it this look. It's kind of panoramic, just imagine like a panoramic view, but slightly up. When they shoot documentaries for the IMAX Dome, they actually have the exact same fisheye lens on the camera as they do the projector, so that it matches and fills the screen perfectly. Obviously, Hollywood movies are not made that way. They're kind of just ported over, and it gives an interesting view. Basically what they have to do is they have to distort the image primarily on that lower end, since there's technically less available screen lower end. It's all distorted, shrunk down, and curved, and the rest of the screen is kind of normal. Basically, the center bottom is what's distorted and the rest is normal. Now this makes it kind of nauseating for the first 10 to 20 minutes watching the movie. It just takes a minute to get used to. It's really bad when it comes to a lot of fast moving shots or medium shots. When it comes to close-ups, it does look gorgeous. The same with the wide vistas. You don't have to focus too much on action, you're just taking it in. And it is a huge giant screen, which helps. Same with close-ups, you just have the one person taking up most of the frame, it's all to focus on. In mediums or fast moving shots, with just how the screen is distorted and the viewing angle of it, it is just a little nauseating. Again, you get used to it after 10-20 minutes, but specifically shots like that, it becomes a lot more noticeable and a lot more distracting. Now because of this, it isn't using the entire screen, plenty of dead space around the frame. What I did love is the fact that it is, one, a giant screen, second, that the seats are pretty good proximity to the actual screen itself, so it does feel pretty intimate while watching. But I had plenty of other problems. Some of these might just be specific to the Charlotte screening we saw it at. The seats were really uncomfortable. I was getting squirmish around it and such. The color edition was also just not as strong as what we saw previously, which was, the old Xenon projector, which I thought wouldn't look as good as a laser, but the colors just weren't as nice. The screen was also a lot dimmer. I also think they had the focus set wrong on the actual projector itself, because a lot of the shots were really buzzed. And this movie has some rack focusing and whatnot, but it's also what's supposed to be in focus also just was really buzzed. It was just really weird and also really distracting. But I think it might have been the projector itself for this theater. Also really weird, the projector's in the middle of the seats in order to you get the best viewing angle for the projector to actually project on the screen. The problem is there's a lot of seats where around there where the doghouse is kind of blocking your view, or where I was sitting, which is a few seats away from it, the bottom right of the screen was a little cut off, which is kind of annoying. So is watching a Hollywood movie on the IMAX Dome worth doing? I can't really say yes, but I can't really say no. I wouldn't do this for your first time watching the movie. I would not do this for your first IMAX experience. So something where you're like me, you love the format and you just want to, wipe off your bucket list, or just want to experience and try it, then you can go ahead and try it. And especially a movie you've already seen before, you don't have to have this be your weird first impression of it. I'm sure this works really well for the documentaries that are shot for the IMAX Dome, but for this, it wasn't really my thing.